This bottom bar shows us the color palette that we currently have open in Inkscape, and if you click this little left pointing arrow, you get the list of all the palettes that are currently available. And right now we can see we have Inkscape default selected. And there's not a lot of palette options here, but the great thing about Inkscape is that it actually uses GIMP color palettes for all of its colors. And if you want to back up your Inkscape color palettes or import other color palettes from a program like GIMP into it, you need to go into the program files of Inkscape and find a folder called palettes. Now I'm working on Windows Vista, so for me, I would go to my computer, I would click on the C drive, and then go to program files, find Inkscape, which will be something like down here. And then you go to this share folder, and here we have palettes. And the names of all these palettes are exactly the same as what you'll see in this list over here. And as you can see, these files are named .gpl, which is actually the same name given to the GIMP color palettes. So if I go over to GIMP, here I have the list of all the palettes that I have in GIMP. This top one, Earth Tones, was actually one that I made for myself by using this color picker tool. And you can actually just click around an image, and as you can see, this foreground color is changing the whole time. And I set this up so that every time I clicked, the color that I picked became part of this special color palette. And you can see the videos on GIMP for more details on how to do that. The rest of these color palettes came by default with GIMP. And if you go into the preferences of GIMP by going Edit Preferences, you can go to this folders option right at the bottom. And if you click on palettes, you see that there's two folders listed. So one is C/users, etc., and one is in program files. What you're doing here is you select the folder where your own ones that you create are going to be placed, and that's in this one. And then this bottom folder is where all of these other ones are located. And so if, for example, I go to this bottom option where all of these default GIMP color palettes are located, I would go to my computer, C drive, program files, GIMP 2.0, and then share. GIMP 2.0, and you have palettes. Now, what I want to show you is that here we have the Inkscape version, so we can see that this is the file that's located in my Inkscape program files, and they're the same file types. So we have GPL, and all that you actually need to do is copy any GPL file and paste it into this folder in Inkscape, and then all of these color palettes are actually going to be available to us in Inkscape. So if I just click on any one of these items in my GIMP palettes folder, I'm going to hit Control A to select all, then I'm going to copy and paste them in here. And a lot of these files are already in here, so I'm just going to say don't copy the ones that are already there. And all of the files are now copied over. So what I can now do is, if I go back over to Inkscape, I need to close it down and restart it. And now if I go to my color palettes option, I have this huge long list. So what I now have is all of the palettes that came with Inkscape itself, plus all of the color palettes that actually came with GIMP as well. So there's something like this Fire Code, which has tons and tons of options. So that immediately is going to give you tons and tons of options. But another really great thing is that you can also go and get your custom-made GIMP color palettes. So if I go to my C drive, once again, and just remember, if you're confused about where this is located in GIMP, you can just go to the GIMP preferences like we saw to find out where that folder is. And in this case, I want to go to my users folder, and then to user, and then GIMP 2.6. And here I go to palettes, and here you see earth tones. There's only one because I've only created one, and GIMP likes to separate the ones that you create from its own ones, which I think is very useful. And once again, what I can do is I can open up my Inkscape version, which is right here. I can copy this file, and I can paste it in here. And now we see that earth tones is part of my GIMP, my Inkscape palettes. So if I now close down Inkscape again and restart it, I can now go to this menu, and here in the list you see earth tones. And if we click that, we get all of the little color swatches that we actually lifted out of this earth in order to make this palette. So being able to integrate color palettes from GIMP is a hugely useful tool, especially since you can then take a photograph and lift all of the colors that you need out of it and actually use them for any drawings that you have open in Inkscape.